Hey guys, Augiesaint here and welcome to the channel. Hope you guys are having a fantastic day, and I just want to show you guys how you can actually understand your character's skills and stats as to understand what they actually scale with. So in thus you can then go ahead and build yourself a character by getting the right echoes, farming the crit rate, echo, crit damage, arrow damage, HP, defense, whatever it is your characters might scale with. So let's just have a look at the character screen as it's pretty in-depth. There you have all your stats. Don't look at my stats. I am still in the process of farming echoes as I'm mainly just focusing on exploration right now. And then I'll do my echo grind once I'm like Union 40. But anyway, there is stats. And then we come over. This is your weapon. Again, terrible weapon, I know. You can see our weapon stats. They attack, energy, regen. And then obviously you can level these up as well. So like the main point of power is just going to be leveling your character up. Because I'll just give you flat stats overall. And then your echoes take a big part. This is the main way of actually getting your stats correct, like getting energy regen, crit rate, crit damage, arrow damage, whatever it is your character might need, which I'm going to show you guys how you actually know that. So we come down here and then you can actually read all of your skills. You can upgrade your skills as well. But when you click on these skills, they tell you exactly what the skill does, skill info. Also, if you're trying to get better at a character and understand them, you should come through here, read this like 3, 4, 5 times until you understand each and every skill that happens on this character. This is the basic attack. You can have a look at the skill detail to see how it scales. Part 1 damage 42%, and then part 2 damage 3, 4, 5, and that's like the number of hits over there. You can see dodge counter damage. It's got ×2 on the dodge counter hit. Mid-air attack stamina consumption. You can see how much it consumes. Your heavy attack stamina consumption. And you can actually level the skills up too, which in turn increases the damage part a bit. You see there from 42 to 47 on the base level. And then obviously everything else does go up. Some characters have better scaling than others, but this is how you see like what's going to go up. This is how you see what type it is. And then you can go through all of these. Your resident skill, you can see the dashboard does arrow damage. Okay, so you know arrow damage is good on him. You have a look there. There's your skill damage percentage, the cooldown, the energy regen. But then something like Resonance Liberation is your ultimate. Now this will tell you exactly what happens with this. Basically, for example, with him, performing up to 3 continuous attacks dealing arrow damage considered as heavy damage. So he deals arrow damage, but it is also considered heavy attack damage. So now you know, okay, so the ultimate's going to scale off arrow damage and heavy attack damage. So then you should go and get yourself, obviously, arrow damage echoes on your 3 stars, because the 3 stars can roll arrow damage. And then on your 4 stars and whatever else, if you do get heavy attack damage, it's not bad for you, or arrow damage, because he does use both of those. You can see how well it scales there, and you can also level these skills up, which is very important for increasing your damage, as it's going to increase the base multipliers. So if I look at here, you can see there it's a little bit of an increase, 44 to 42. It's almost a 3% increase, but I mean any increase is an increase, especially if it's on the base skill itself, because then it's got to go through all the other multipliers of your echoes, like your crit chance, your arrow damage, all of that other stuff. So it's very strong to actually level up the correct skills. But I mean, eventually, after we've been playing this game for months, we're probably going to have these leveled up all the way anyway. I believe the intro skill is probably like the least effective thing to level up. You can see that the skill damage goes up a little bit, but like it's not a major effect of your damage. Arrow damage, the intro and the outro. There's the outro when you can't actually level up the outro skill, but you can level up the intro skill. Also, again, it depends on what character it is. Some characters have better ones. Maybe it buffs their buffs and things like that. So just keep in mind, this is where a lot of power comes from, and how to understand the character happens in the screen to know what you're building. Especially this node over here is very big for a lot of characters. Do not overlook this one. I completely forgot in the beginning of this, and I spent the wrong material. So now my Verena is actually not giving a massive boost, which I'll show you guys in a second. After casting intro skill, tactical strike, Gion's attack is increased by 10% for 15 seconds. So when you switch to him with the intro skill, he's basically got 10% increased damage for 15 seconds. That's a big buff over there. And then these second lines of here, this is attack and crit, which then you can go even further later on. Obviously, I'm not high enough to do this yet, but just do not overlook these. It's a lot of damage. And then for Verena, like I was saying before, her middle tree, look at this. When Verena casts heavy attack, Starfire Bloom, mid-air attack, Starfire Bloom, Resonance Liberation, Flourish, or outro skill Blossom. So pretty much when you do anything on her, all team members' attacks increase by 20%. I completely overlooked this, and I thought this was built into a kit in another way. So I'm actually missing this completely. We'll get it on the weekly reset because I need this from the weekly boss. So on Monday, we'll actually pick this up, and my whole team is going to be doing 20% more damage for 20 seconds. Insane buff over there. So do not overlook that on the supports. You definitely want to come check out their skill trees, and make sure you're looking at this middle node on all your characters you are building. Like Mortefi after casting his resonance skill, vibration, the damage of resonance skill, Fury Rage, it's increased. So that again there is pretty big. resonance skill. I believe it's just the E. I mean, it's not that big. If it was the resonance liberation, yeah, it would be insane. But more damage for pretty much just upgrading stuff, which you're going to farm up eventually in the long run of the game. So don't overlook that. And then something else I do want to show you guys is like, how do you understand what Verina's buffing actually scales with? So if you come and have a look, remember I told you guys to look in the skill detail. You can see there, Aberrant Flourish, like her Resonance Liberation, this is part of her buff. This actually scales with the percent with your attack. So you actually want to stack attack on Verina. I thought I wanted to scale HP on her because she's a support, so HP, defense, stuff like that. But no, you actually do want to go for attack rolls on her, as that is what her skills do scale with, attack. But then another good example for you to understand what I'm trying to get at is Baiji. Is it this one? I believe this is Baiji, right? You can have a look. Okay, yeah, her skills scale with HP. So you want to build her skills around HP. She's another support in the game, the free support that everybody gets for starting out the game. Her skills scale with HP. So have a look at characters, make sure that you are scaling the right stat on them. And then the last example I have for you guys is this guy. I don't know his name, so I'm not even going to try. And he actually scales with defense. So you can build up his defense and he will scale with defense. So he's probably going to be a really tanky, strong character. I've never built him up yet. I should though, because I've gotten like 4 or 5 copies of him. So it'll be pretty strong once you do that. Oh, and then talking about that, that is like another last point of powerful characters. You can level them up even further. This is called basically ascending them, or resonance chain. So like this guy would be considered an R4 character. But basically you get the character the first time, and then any duplicate you get of the character, you'll get these little ball things like this. It's a wave plate or a wavelength or something like that. And you activate it and it's going to unlock one of these points. And all of these are pretty strong, as you can see. What's another good example? I believe Mortef is one at like I believe on number 4. Let's have a look at Mortef. So the duration of Resonance Liberation Rhapsody is extended by 7 seconds. So that's a huge buff. 7 seconds on like his main reason why we actually use him in our Gian team, or any team for that matter, because of his ultimate is Resonance Liberation, giving the buff to the next character. So this will increase that by 7%. That's actually a crazy buff if you think about it. I'm one away. I didn't know that. I'll have to go and try and pull some more of him. And then the Rover as well, she also has hers you obtain basically just from the story and side quests and exploration stuff. Right now I believe this is the only 2 we can get on the Havoc Rover, and then you can switch over your Rover. That's the last thing I can talk to you guys about. That the MC, the Rover, actually has 2 different Havoc or Spectro build. Spectro you start out with, and then Havoc you get once you beat the game. So there is that, but that's nothing to do with what I'm trying to talk about in this. So that's basically how you understand your character's stats and stuff. Make sure that you're leveling up the skills. Make sure you are focusing heavily on your echoes, because this is determining all of your substats, which is going to be like building around the character. I do have a video up on my channel about echoes, so go check that out if you guys are unsure how echoes work and how to farm them and just how they work overall. But I'm going to leave you guys with this video. I think I've covered most of the basics I can cover in the video. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked it, please drop a like and a sub to the channel. Helps me out so much, and I'll catch you beautiful people in the next one. Augiesaint now.
Run free and dive into the sky. Hear the